Hey guys, Sealf here. Hope you're all doing good. I just wanted to show off some of the dropship work I've been doing over the last few weeks. So my day job, my day contract has been crazy busy, so I haven't had a huge amount of time to work on things, but I have been picking at them and making some good progress. So I've made a little test area to show off some dropship functionality. So previously I had dropships in, I think I showed those off, but I needed to interact with them in some way for the dead claim contract types. So I've been working on kind of functionality. So this is 2 nodes and 1 result. The 2 nodes are, it's a dropship landing spot. There's an extraction zone, kind of extraction node, and a animate dropship result. Now all 3 of these are effectively vanilla logic, but I was unable to use the vanilla versions of them directly, like I can do for some nodes and some results. The reason for this is because I have a custom, how I get dropships into the game is quite difficult, so I brought them in as effectively props, because that made the most sense. They're effectively flying buildings from all the game code that's associated with them. They're very, very similar. So due to this and the way that they're kind of props in the game, they wouldn't just fit nicely into the vanilla components, the vanilla logic. So what I've done is I've created custom versions of those 2 nodes and the result, and hooked them all together. They are very similar to the vanilla versions, but like I said, I had to do a few changes, a few upgrades, but it gives me full control now, so I'm able to do what I want with those if I need to change them. So that's kind of a benefit. Okay, so let me show you. This is a test area. I've got 3 regions here, and I'm going to show you what happens when you walk in them. So they trigger off, as you can see, very nice. This will trigger a dropship landing sequence, effectively. So you walk into the region that kicks off a trigger. That result gets fired as the animate dropship result, which communicates with the dropship landing zone. There's a few steps there, and tells any dropships registered with it or that has a tag to land, basically. So here's another one, but it's just the opposite. This one tells them all to take off. And this works for both leopards and union dropships. So this next one will be a flyby. Unfortunately, the flyby doesn't work for the union dropships. It would just come down, it sits there and disappears. I suspect because it's a flyby on a union is never done in the core game. So I might be able to do something with that in the future, but I'm not really worried, because at least in my head, when a union, something that big, is coming down and landing, it's not going to do a flyby. It's not like a leopard. It will come down, stop, maybe refuel, whatever, but it won't do a flyby. So I was just showing off the leopard here. So it will come in from the side here. It pops in because of the line of sight, but it does come in smoothly, and then it flies off again, which is nice. If you paired this with an extraction zone logic, or the extraction node that I mentioned earlier, I haven't finished that yet because I need the logic's there in mission control, but the designer needs the actual UI work. But if you paired it with that, you would be able to do the logic that's like in an assassination mission where the robot, the mech would go into the zone and then get picked up and disappear. Or you could have extra units pop out. That logic, some of that logic is already working for things like lancers coming in and getting dropped off by a dropship. But for instance, the running away of the assassinate target and getting picked up, you wouldn't have been able to do this with the designer until now, or at least until I get the extract component sorted. So. And like I mentioned, there are benefits to having custom versions. The vanilla versions of all those would only work for 1 dropship at a time. So my versions work for multiple. which is pretty cool. There was a performance problem with the unions, that they had a particle system in it that would cause massive slowdown, but I managed to identify that, and I think it just crushed one of my guys. Okay, yep, there he's gone. So that works too. That's the first time I've seen that since working on this, actually. Yeah, there was a performance problem with the particle system, so when a union came down, it would absolutely kill your performance, like to a halt. I identified that and I disabled that particle emitter. It doesn't visually seem to make a difference, which is great, but as you can see, you can have a huge number of dropships coming in at the same time, and there was no slowdown there, which is great because if you want to do, as a designer, if you want to make some kind of invasion style logic where you see loads of unions coming in together, loads of leopards, yeah, you can do that, which is pretty cool. Yeah, one thing I did notice that the size differences are a bit weird. I mean, these are the correct sizes. I've double checked them, or at least unless I mistake something in the game. But comparing the stats on Sana, if you pronounce that right, the union should be kind of, I think, a bit bigger, quite a bit bigger than the leopard. So, but I think this is game logic sizing. So I do actually have control over these sizings, so I could reduce the size of things, but I'm trying to keep things in line with the core game. So anyway, that's that. Quite cool stuff, I think. So hope you enjoyed that video, and have a good weekend. Thanks, guys. Bye.